You mentioned affordability. It's something you discussed during your meeting. You've also discussed it a bit on the call, on the earnings call recently as well, in relation to the Federal Reserve raising interest rates and obviously the monthly cost for a typical auto buyer. You think it's going to be a tough 12 months ahead. You've said that a few times.
Yes, for everyone, not just Tesla.
Understood.
So it's, I mean, it's simply, you know, you can think of raising the Fed rate as somewhat of a brake pedal on the economy. Frankly, it makes a lot of things more expensive. Certainly things that are bought with credit, but then it has downstream effects on even things that aren't bought with credit. So, you know, if the car payment or your home mortgage payment is absorbing more of your monthly budget, then you have less money to buy other things. So actually, it affects everything, even those that aren't things that aren't bought on credit. So, and my concern with the way the Federal Reserve is making decisions is that they're just operating with too much latency. Basically, the data is somewhat stale. So the Federal Reserve was slow to raise interest rates, and now I think they're going to be slow to lower them. That appears to be the case.
Yeah, that may well be. We spent a lot of time talking about that, as you might imagine, on CNBC, perhaps too much. But when it comes to latency, that takes me to pricing, because you've discussed the lack of latency in your own ability to understand exactly what's going on in the market for those cars, as opposed to many of the legacy and other competitors.
We have real-time information on demand. So, so we know how many people placed an order for a Tesla yesterday. So the computer calculates that all, and literally every day we get an automated email to the exec staff that says how many people placed an order in which countries for which cars. And so we know what demand, we know what the orders were yesterday. Now you don't want to overreact to these things, because sometimes you get like little dips for reasons that are hard to explain.
Do you look at them every day?
Yeah. But like I said, you don't want to overreact to if like a week is slow or something. You don't want to overreact to that. But if you look at the trend, say for over two week span or something like that, you can see that there's this for some reason the demand is less than it was, or it's higher.
Do you adjust pricing to that? I mean, are you almost like an airline at this point in terms of kind of your dynamic pricing model?
Yes. So we're basically adjust pricing to match demand, we obviously did a big price drop in Q1. But now January is usually a terrible time for car buying. So there's seasonality to car purchases. With January is often the worst month. So we did a big price drop, and then recently we did a price increase. So as I mentioned to the audience, the reality is that all car companies make significant adjustments to price, because you've got the MSRP number, and then if demand is high, dealers will charge some premium over MSRP. If demand is lower, they will have manufacturer incentives. So you can actually see a very big difference over the course of, say, 6 months between the peak to trough of all cars. It's just that Tesla is so immediate and obvious and transparent. It's not a question of MSRP and then markups or discounts.